Welcome back to Clever's Corner, folks, the only place where history, politics, and conspiracy theories meet up in a dive bar, order a round of tequila, and immediately regret it the next morning. Today's episode is about something we all love: chaos, misinformation, and an old rich guy who somehow had more phone numbers than your mom's church directory. Yes, I'm talking about the great 2024-2025 brouhaha, the Epstein list, or, as it should have been called, the guy who ran a sex trafficking ring files, but also collected numbers for Pizza Hut. Segment 1, Anatomy of a Misnomer. So let's start here. There was no Epstein list. That was the first lie. What we got was a pile of civil lawsuit documents from Virginia Giuffre v. Ghislaine Maxwell. But try explaining that on Twitter. People don't want nuance. They want, here's the list, Tom Hanks is on it, now go cancel Toy Story. It was like ordering a steak and getting kale salad. You scream at the waiter, he explains you never ordered steak, and you shout, cover up. That's essentially how this went. Americans were primed for a list of criminal clients. What they got was emails, depositions, and discovery filings. The internet reacted with the same maturity it does to pineapple on pizza. Burn it all down. And the kicker? The phrase Epstein list was just a misnomer. But in America, misnomers spread faster than herpes at spring break. Remember death panels? War on Christmas? My personal favorite, gluten-free beer. If it's gluten-free, it's just sad water. Segment 2, differentiating the documents. Let's break it down. The controversy lumped together 4 different document types: unsealed court records, civil filings, not criminal charges, Epstein's little black book, basically an early 2000s iPhone contact list. Sure, it had Bill Clinton, but also his gardener, his massage therapist, and maybe the Domino's delivery guy. If your name's in there, congratulations, you're as guilty as the lawn service. Flight logs, passenger lists for Epstein's jets. It doesn't prove criminal activity, it just proves you boarded the plane. By that logic, I'm complicit in terrorism because I once sat next to a guy watching Taken 2. DOJ investigative files, locked away, protected, sealed, which means, of course, they must contain proof that Hillary Clinton is the Antichrist, Obama is a lizard, and Fauci's wife is secretly Maxwell's sister. Instead of separating categories, the internet mashed them together like a conspiracy smoothie. And once again, America showed it can't tell the difference between someone mentioned Tom Cruise and Tom Cruise runs the Illuminati. Segment 3, the politics of expectation. The Trump administration loved the Epstein list hype. For years, right-wing voices primed the base with Democrats are hiding the client list. Then Trump's DOJ said, we'll show you the truth. Cue Pam Bondi on Fox News.
It's on my desk right now.
Then came the Phase 1 release. Binders stamped with the Epstein files were handed out to conservative influencers like Oprah handing out cars. Except instead of cars, it was photocopies of flight logs everyone already had since 2015. This wasn't a release. It was a PowerPoint presentation of disappointment. People expected a smoking gun. What they got was a damp Nerf dart. And immediately the backlash came, not from liberals, but from Trump's own base. Nothing says own goal like prepping your fans for a fireworks show and then lighting a wet sparkler. Segment 4, social media chaos. Enter social media, the gas can to every political dumpster fire. Digitally altered images appeared, like Kamala Harris smiling with Epstein. Fake, but it spread like wildfire. Jimmy Kimmel got accused after Aaron Rodgers made a joke, because if there's one guy we should trust with credibility, it's Aaron Rodgers, the man who thinks horse dewormer is a smoothie. And, of course, influencers like Alex Jones went full Carnival Barker. When Alex Jones says they're hiding the truth, his followers hear, quick, buy my apocalypse vitamins. This became less about Epstein and more about feeding the conspiracy economy. Every name, every rumor became clicks, followers, and merch sales. The list didn't exist, but the brand of the list, oh, that sold like MAGA hats at a Kid Rock concert. Segment 5, real consequences versus fake ones. Here's the thing. Some people really did face consequences. Prince Andrew, credibly accused, settled out of court, lost his titles, became Britain's most expensive houseplant. Jean-Luc Brunel, arrested, died in prison. Jess Staley had to quit Barclays. But the majority of names weren't accused of anything. They were just there, mentioned. and context evaporated. Someone asked a witness, "Did you ever meet Leonardo DiCaprio?" She answered, "No." And the internet turned it into "Leo's in the files." That's like me asking if you've met Bigfoot and you saying no. Suddenly you're trending as Sasquatch's roommate. Segment 6, institutional trust meltdown. At the core of all this is trust, or rather the total absence of it. Remember Epstein's 2008 sweetheart plea deal? The non-prosecution agreement that gave him basically a weekend in jail and a gift card to Chuck E. Cheese? That was the original sin. Ever since, people assume the system protects the rich. Fast forward to 2025, and when the DOJ released their memo saying there is no Epstein list, no one believed them. You could tattoo the truth on Lady Justice's forehead, and people would still say deep state laser beams erased the real message. And this isn't just a right-wing thing. Across the aisle, Democrats and Republicans are united in thinking the DOJ is full of it. Finally, bipartisanship. Unfortunately, it's bipartisanship in dismantling faith in democracy. Segment 7, victims forgotten. Lost in all this are the victims, the women Epstein abused, their stories drowned out by hashtags and political theater. While cable news debated whether Stephen Hawking's name was in a flight log, the victims were left with the same message they got in 2008. The system doesn't care. It's not just bad justice, it's a cultural betrayal. And that betrayal is why conspiracy theories thrive. When institutions fail, people fill the void with whatever crazy story fits their worldview. Segment 8, the lessons and the future. So what do we learn? Institutions need a new playbook. Courts should release plain language guides with documents. Journalists should explain context, not just list names. Social media needs circuit breakers to slow down lies. Because if not, every future high-profile case will become another Epstein list, a Rorschach test where half the country sees a criminal cabal and the other half sees a Pizzagate sequel. The irony is the Epstein case really was horrifying. It didn't need exaggeration. It needed clarity, accountability, and justice. Instead, it became a meme, a hashtag, and a conspiracy circus. The Epstein list debates weren't just about names and files. They were about how much we don't trust our institutions, our media, and frankly, each other. And until we fix that, every binder, every leak, every lawsuit is going to be turned into another mythical list. So next time somebody shouts they're hiding the Epstein list, just remember what they're actually hiding is the truth, that we're terrible at handling complexity, and even worse at reading court documents. That's the chaos, folks. That's Klepper's Corner.